And so we are here again on KBBF Bilingual Radio 89.1 FM and on the web at kbbf.org. And we have Miss Sylvia Lemus, who's here today to update us about the vaccine, about the testing, and specifically about the cases. Now, one of the things that I am a little bit more concerned about, I would say, Señorita Lemus, is the fact that the numbers appear to be going down. But I'm not sure that's because simply people are taking care of themselves. I think that you and I have had this conversation before. I think people are just not getting tested as much. What can you tell us?
It could be that. So it could be like a false sense of security, and we don't know until we do more kind of research into what we're doing. So as far as that question, when Blue Shield is kind of we're hoping that with the change of Blue Shield, there'll be better data, better metrics on this, but I can't tell you exactly for sure about that information, but I can share the data that we have right now that we can talk about.
Definitely.
So we currently have 28,213 cases confirmed here in Sonoma County. In the last 24 hours, we have 28 new cases. So it's starting to go down, the new cases that we're identifying on a daily basis. We have a total, unfortunately, of 301 people that have passed from COVID. And we've continued to do a lot of testing, some testing and vaccinating, even though vaccinations have slowed down. I can talk a little bit about that a little later. Our metrics, according to the California's blueprint for safer economy, which that's what determines how restrictive or open we can be here in the county, is we currently are at a new daily case rate of 9.5 per 100,000 population, and we need to be under 7 to move into the red tier, from the purple to the red. So it's gone down dramatically. Remember, we were like at 40, then 35, and it's gone down, but we still have a little more work to do. Our test positivity rate is at 3.5. It needs to be under 8 for us to move into the next year. And our equity metric testing positivity rate is 5.5, which is also under 8%. That's needed to move into the next year. So we're getting there, but we still have work to do. And one of the things is that testing is really important, like you said, to identify, because I don't know if it's like a false sense that if the numbers are really demonstrating that we are doing that work, because we have been trying to do that work. And a lot of people also are tired of COVID and the pandemic, and maybe are not testing, and maybe they're thinking, oh, the vaccine is here, I don't have to worry about it that much anymore. But we still have to worry about it because it's still prevalent. I mean, in how it's transmitting in households like at 54%, I think. That's like when you look at the transmission, where the cases are coming from, 54% is in households. So I think those are maybe gatherings and different things, or people come home and they're sick and they're passing to their family members. So we know that a lot of people have COVID and have no symptoms. So there's a lot of people with no symptoms that aren't getting tested and don't even think they should get tested because they don't even feel sick. But you don't have to feel sick. We ask people to please go 1-2 times a month. We have so many different options for testing now in Sonoma County, but it's important to identify those cases that we have right now and either help them to isolate safely so we can protect their families and the community, and bring those numbers truly, down to a level that we can reopen. So as far as testing, if I can go into testing.
Yes, please.
Okay, so as far as testing, we have a lot of different options around the community. The best ones that we can kind of provide are OptumServe and also the county sites. So we ask people to please call and make an appointment. Like I said, maybe once or twice a month get tested. And we have OptumServe all over Windsor, Petaluma, Santa Rosa, different locations, and there's different options. If you go to socoemergency.org, then there's a button that says get tested. That'll take you to a place with all the links to make appointments. You can also call the testing hotline at 565-4667, and it can help you find an appointment. And then we also have in some of the county also holds over on Moreland and Andes Unity Park on Fridays from 9 to noon. And then they move over to Bear Farm from 2 to 4 to do testing. So we'll be out there tomorrow from 2 to 4 at Bear Farm. So it's really important to really continue to push that message to please, encourage your family members and friends and community to get tested, because that's the only way that we're going to bring down the numbers and see where we're really at here in Sonoma County. The testing, just a reminder, it's free. It's available to anyone, and it doesn't matter what your immigration status is. It's confidential, and you might be asked to show an ID, but it's not required to get a test. And the results, you'll get the results in about 24 to 48 hours. So again, testing is very important here in the community.
Definitely. One of the things that, again, I was looking at was a map earlier of of different states that do not require the wearing of masks. I think we are doing okay as far as California, Nevada, Oregon are requiring it, Utah as well. But then we have our neighbors over there in Arizona and Idaho, who are definitely not requiring this. And I know that a lot of people do travel either for work. And so we are asking the community, wear your mask is a required item anytime you go outside your house. Avoid trying to go out of your house. Get tested as often as you need to, but don't wait too long between tests. And then again, spend time with family. Wash your hands 6 feet apart. And finally, in those individuals who, for example, are truckers and have to go into another state, it doesn't matter that maybe in Arizona it's not required or Idaho is not required for you to wear the mask. For your family and for your community, please wear your mask. That's essential. Just because somebody else doesn't care, that's okay. Remember when we got started in California and you put your mask the first few times and it was awkward and people would stare at you? Now everybody wears masks and nobody seems to care. It's the same thing somewhere else. And because you're doing it in another state, you may be teaching somebody else to care about themselves as well. Now, what can you tell us about the vaccine?
Yes. So the vaccine, we now have administered here at the county a total of 150,261 vaccines. So residents with the first dose, 67,000, and residents fully vaccinated with 2 doses, 41,500. So we have vaccinated now at least 1 dose to about 26% of our adult population. So it really puts us at the top of the list of similar sized counties. The problem that we know is that we're not receiving enough doses. We have the capacity to vaccinate maybe 21,000 doses a week, but right now we're only receiving 7,000. And even now with the Johnson & Johnson, we really believe that with Johnson & Johnson we would get an increase in doses, but they adjusted the other doses. So with Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, Moderna, we only received 7,700 this week. So that's where we were kind of a little confused about why we're getting not more versus less, you know. So that we're still dealing with that issue of supply and demand. But then there's the other issue where the state has a contract with a third-party administrator, which is Blue Shield. And so starting next Monday, they're taking over the distribution administration of the vaccine, but it's not good. It's going to be a gradual process. It won't be Monday everything cuts off and then they take over everything. It's going to be a gradual transition from the county to Blue Cross, and we'll still be providing information, working with them to kind of make sure that we have up-to-date information for the community on everything. So that supposedly is going to help us improve our metrics, because one organization will be collecting all the metrics and reporting it to the statewide. But we just don't know. And next week we'll learn more about how that's going to work. And then we're also going to go to OptumServe, which is a one place where you sign up. I'm sorry, not OptumServe, myturn.ca.gov. I apologize for that. So myturn.ca.gov is a site that we're going to be transitioning the whole state over, and that's where you will go in to make appointments for your vaccine when your time is called for the vaccine. I did want to say about testing, one part I missed is that we did find the UK variant was found, confirmed, discovered here in Sonoma County, 1 case. So right now we're using our regular, our usual protocols for case investigation and contact tracing to see that person, what are the contacts that they've had. We're not surprised because it's happening and turning up everywhere, the different variants, but we are trying to stay on top of it. And that's why testing is so important, because that's the way that we find out what variants are existing here in our community. And a lot of them are more transmissible. So we need to try to identify those cases happening here.
Definitely. So that's really important. Again, testing. That's really the message out there for communities. Again, I just heard of a family that went to visit another family because somebody had passed away and they didn't think much of it. One individual apparently was sick, knew that he was sick, wasn't wearing a mask, wasn't isolating, ended up getting a pile of people sick, possibly up to 30 people sick. And again, you know, now those people cannot go to work, those people's lives are affected. And for some people, if they already are at high risk due to asthma, diabetes, obesity, heart problems, those people could pass away. And again, it's essential that we take care of each other. Is there anything else that you would like to share?
Let me think. I think that's the most important information that I want to share with you. And just for the community, please continue to, like you said, use the safety protocols, because even with the vaccine, we all need to continue with the same safety protocols, because until everyone's vaccinated and we reach a level of like a herd immunity, which is like 70 to 80% of the population vaccinated, we won't be able to really relax our measures because we don't want to, because even when you're vaccinated, you could be a carrier of COVID and you can pass it on to someone else. And you may not even know you have it because the vaccine is going to protect you from the serious effects and death. So that's a good thing about getting a vaccine. So when it's your turn to get a vaccine, get the vaccine. It doesn't matter if it's Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, or Moderna. It's just so important that we all be protected.
Definitely. So with that, I want to thank you. And again, it is essential that we keep supporting each other. Remember, the campaign by Líderes del Futuro in collaboration with Humanidad is called Por mi familia, por mi comunidad, for my family, for my community. We've created this, what is it called? This pictures collection, video collections. Please keep sharing them in the community. Everybody should get tested. Everybody needs to, if we want to get back to some form of normality, we need to get tested on a regular basis. We need to get vaccinated. And as you clearly said, and those of us who have been privileged enough to have gotten vaccinated already, again, I wear the mask, not because I'm too afraid of getting the virus for myself, because I don't want to pick it up and then pass it on to somebody else. So when we are here in the studio, again, we wipe everything as soon as I walk in. I wipe everything when I'm on my way out, because we need to take care of each other. And with that, I want to thank you as always for being here with us. And again, I look forward to our collaboration and continuing to distribute masks and to bring information to the community. Thank you, Ms. Lemus, once again.
Thank you, Rafael. Good evening.
Good evening.